Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
A judge decides there is enough evidence for Jason Harris to go to trial on charges he murdered his wife. And you won't believe what his own brother said on the stand.
All right, Karen, but we begin tonight with positive news from Monroe. 2 police officers are expected to be okay after being shot during a dispute at an apartment complex.
That is the word we are getting from the chief tonight after a chaotic shootout there this morning.
State police are now stepping in to investigate what exactly happened this morning when the gunfire started. It happened at the Washington Arms Apartments on Washington Street right around 9 this morning. Coco McAboy is in Monroe tonight working to find out what set this whole thing off.
Police say the shooting stemmed from a fight between a maintenance worker and a 40-year-old man who lives in this apartment complex. You can see that police still have the driveway of the apartment complex blocked off as they investigate. And we have the audio of the call from officers asking for help after the shooting.
Shots fired, hold it out.
Intense moments inside of the Washington Arms apartment complex. 2 officers shot in the legs, responding to an assault call.
We need 2 ambulances right away.
Police say the officers were shot by a 40-year-old man who lives in the complex. The man got into a fight with a maintenance worker, and when police arrived,
there were shots fired first by the suspect, striking 2 officers from Monroe City PD.
Officers on the scene fired back.
Suspect has been hit as well multiple times.
Information about the suspect is limited, but neighbors describe his demeanor.
Very quiet, never really associate with nobody. He does carry a weapon, you know, so because he let this be seen in his holster.
The fact that her neighbor allegedly used that weapon to injure 2 officers is overwhelming for Jana Faketia.
For everybody, you know, it's just a senseless shooting. People could have lost their lives, and it's just messed up.
Both officers are expected to be okay, but still.
It's tough. It's a call you never want to get.
And a call he hopes to never get again. Police have not yet released the condition of the suspect. We'll keep in touch with them and let you know when we receive any updates. I'm Coco McAboy, Local 4.
All right, Coco. Just in tonight, Detroit police have made 2 arrests now in the fatal shooting of a young student and athlete.
20-year-old Cabria Arnold was found shot to death in the street near Bentler and Pilgrim 2 Sundays ago. Police have arrested a 28-year-old man and 24-year-old woman in the case. Investigators are looking into the relationships between the suspects and the victim.
Her boyfriend or former boyfriend is possibly the one involved in what caused it, and that the other woman in his company was probably in a relationship with this same male. So we don't know if that's provoked it. We just don't really know at this point.
The 2 people in custody have not yet been charged. Chief Craig says the investigation is still ongoing.
Mayor Duggan's plan to make Detroit blight-free by 2025 hit a big roadblock today.
In a 6-3 vote, Detroit City Council voted to deny the mayor's request for a $250 million bond proposal to go to voters in March. Larry Spruill was at today's meeting and has the mayor's reaction.
There has been a lot of back and forth on the proposal presented by Mayor Duggan's office when it comes to demolition. City Council has been meeting about this proposal for the last 2 days, and today they voted no 6-3 on that proposal. But the fact of the matter is, this conversation is nowhere near over. Tuesday's City Council meeting started off with fireworks, even getting to the point where Council President Brenda Jones demanding the crowd to calm down.
So please respect each other as I ask people to respect you when you are talking.
For the second day in a row, Mayor Duggan's proposal on demolition the center of attention. Mayor Duggan presented City Council a request to authorize a March 2020 ballot initiative, asking voters to give the city authority to sell up to $250 million in bonds to get rid of all residential blight from every Detroit neighborhood by mid-2025. Voters had a lot to say, including state leaders.
And the same voices we hear today speaking out, we needed those voices to talk about the facilities that many of our children continue to go to school in. And you have to remember who was a part of the construction contracts during the time that many of our schools were being built. So let's deal with that.
I was on council when that hardest hit money was used for allegedly for blight.
City Council voted 6-3 against Duggan's proposal.
So to allocate over $500 million to just tearing down homes, but you're not addressing what is causing the blight in our community is a problem for me.
Mayor Duggan had this to say.
I didn't hear any council member say it wasn't important to get blight out of our neighborhoods. What we need is a plan that the mayor and council can both agree on, and I'm committed to working with council members on that.
And I asked Mayor Duggan if he anticipates his proposal will be on the November ballot. He tells me as of right now he does not know, but his team is making strides in that direction. Larry Sproul, Local 4.
Larry. New tonight, we're learning bombshell new information in the case of a husband charged with spiking his wife's cereal with a deadly dose of heroin.
This case was back before a judge today where we heard from a co-worker about a failed murder for hire plot, and defender Karen Drew was in court as the judge decided the case is going to trial.
It seemed like the makings of a movie on what went on inside court today, starting with the judge hearing how Jason Harris tried to hire a hitman to kill his wife.
My feeling was that I thought my brother murdered his wife.
Strong words coming from Jeffrey Harris, the murder suspect's own brother. He told the court about his brother's sexual conversations he was having with another woman a year before Jason's wife was murdered, and how Jason asked him to book a flight and a hotel room for a secret rendezvous.
That purchase was for a hotel room.
Jeffrey Harris testified he canceled the flight and hotel when he realized his brother was planning to see another woman. He later told the court after Christy died, he took his concerns to police.
You're not a betting man, but if you are for this purpose,
yep.
You had $1,000. How much would you bet that your brother, Jason Harris, killed his wife?
I would bet $1,000.
A former co-worker of Jason's also took the stand, testifying about conversations he had with Jason Harris.
He was just saying that Christina wasn't wanting to go back to work, that he believed the child they had wasn't his, and that she was just laying around the house, not doing anything, and he was just getting tired of it.
Zachariah Schustock also testified Harris tried to hire him as a hitman.
There was a situation where he had asked me if I would kill her for him.
Schustock said no, but never reported his concerns to police. And Harris's defense attorney pounced on that and tried to discredit his testimony because Schustock is a two-time felon. In the end, the judge decided
the individual identified as Jason Thomas Harris, there's probable cause to believe that he committed count 1, premeditated first-degree murder of his wife.
I did reach out to Jason Harris's family as we walked out of court. No one was willing to talk to me on camera. I did reach out to Christy Thomas Harris's family. They issued a statement saying, "We are thankful for all of the work of law enforcement, and we are confident that justice will be served at trial." That's the latest here in Flint. I'm Karen Drew, Local 4 Defenders.
Karen, and now let's turn our attention to the weather. The big thaw continues. Most of the snow just about gone at this point.
Look at this picture of our gorgeous city. You're right, the snow's gone. That makes you smile for sure. Warmer weather could be on the way, but we'd like to get some peaks of sunshine too. Let's check in with Vince, see how it's going.
We get one of the two. We can't get them both back like we had yesterday. That was seems to be one in quite a while. But there are showers on radar that are going to skip to the south of us. Those clouds hung tough today, and so is the fog. In fact, visibility is still 3 to 5 miles in a good chunk of the area, especially here on the east side and the west zone. And we're going to see a couple areas where that fog gets thicker tonight. Any place that the clouds do break, we'll see the fog fill in, and the models are really sort of focused on the north zone where we think that visibility is going to go down below a mile. The rest of us, we're probably going to notice the fog out there tomorrow morning, but it shouldn't be all that terrible getting out on the roads on Wednesday morning. Nevertheless, it should clear a lot quicker than it did today. We're still going to have some lingering effects sort of seed off in the distance there in the afternoon, but it should be clearer than what we saw today. Now, let's look at the precipitation chances as we get into Thursday, because we are expecting solid rain chances once we get all this fog and cloud cover out of here on Wednesday. Clouds clear out briefly. Then they come back pretty quickly with a warm front as we get into Thursday. The morning commute's dry, but we're going to start looking for midday showers that'll spend most of the day with rain across southeast Michigan. This is 5 o'clock, still seeing those showers. In fact, really not cutting off until probably closer to 11 p.m. on Thursday. Lows tonight are going to teeter on the freezing mark, and we sort of colored in purple some of the areas that may be seeing 32, and why that's important is because there could be some freezing fog around, not necessarily for the south zone where we're looking at mid-30s. West zone, especially up in Genesee County, watch out for that. Of course, the fog's going to be a little bit more dense there as well. And in the north zone, good chunk of real estate could be seeing some freezing fog there as well. Otherwise, high temperatures tomorrow, not quite what we saw yesterday. 43 is as good as it gets. We will get back to the 50s, though, on Thursday, and that's going to be with a good dose of rain. So that'll clear everything off. We have time to dry out, and then we can start raking on Saturday and Sunday, which is what we all want to do.
But trending warmer as we head toward Thanksgiving.
Stick with this at 6 because we got to talk about Thanksgiving with you.
Yeah.
All right, Local 4 News at 6 is next.
You didn't get your full meal at 5, so we're going to work extra hard here at 6. Next, coming up, we've got stories from Clawson, Ann Arbor, and Bloomfield Township.
Plus, a verdict is rendered in the case of a local dance studio owner accused of sexually assaulting a student over the span of 2 years.
And next, we're hearing from the man who was trapped in that backyard trench for 5 hours yesterday, what he did to stay positive throughout that very long rescue, and how he's doing tonight. Next at 6.